She will know her husbands are incensed, baying for blood. She has 3 largely uninterested half-brothers on her father's side, and a mother who lives in Australia. None of them give Clements a sense that they are helping or protecting Kylie. She will know who abducted her. If alive, she must be terrified. Clements' junior partner, Constable Tanner, burly and blunt as usual, scoffs at the idea that she escaped. He's waiting for a body. He'd settle for a confession. It's been 4 days now since Dan Jansen left the country. Skipped justice, as Tanner insists on saying. But the constable is wet behind the ears. He still thinks murder is glamorous and career-enhancing. Clements tries to remember. Did she ever think that way? She's been a police officer for nearly 15 years. She joined the force straight out of uni, a few years younger than Tanner is now. But no, she can't remember a time when she thought murder was glamorous. He hasn't skipped justice. We're talking to him and his lawyers, she points out, with what feels like the last bit of her taught patience. You're being pedantic. I'm being accurate. But you're talking to him through bloody Microsoft Teams, says Tanner dismissively. What the hell is that? The future, Clements sighs. She ought to be offended by the uppity tone of the junior police officer. It's disrespectful. She's the detective constable. She would be offended if she had the energy, but she doesn't have any to spare. It's all focused on the case. On Kylie Gillingham. She needs to remain clear-sighted, analytical. They need to examine the facts, the evidence, over and over again. To be fair, Constable Tanner is focused too, but his focus manifests in frenetic frustration. She tries to keep him on track. Look, lockdown means Dan Jansen isn't coming back to the UK for questioning anytime soon. Even if there wasn't a strange new world to negotiate, we couldn't force him to come to us, not without arresting him. And I can't do that yet. Tanner knocks his knuckles against her desk as though he is rapping on a door, asking to be let in, demanding attention. But all the evidence is circumstantial. Tanner knows this. He just can't quite accept it. He feels the finish line is in sight, but he can't cross it, and it frustrates him. Disappoints him. He wants the world to be clear-cut. He wants crimes to be punished, bad men behind bars, a safer realm. He doesn't want some posh twat flashing his passport and wallet, hopping on a plane to his family mansion in the Netherlands, and getting away with it. Dan Jansen's good looks and air of entitlement offend Tanner. Clements understands all that. She understands it, but has never allowed personal bias and preferences to cloud her investigating procedures. We found her phones in his flat, Tanner insists. Kylie could have put them there herself, counters Clements. She did live there with him as his wife. And we found the receipt for the cable ties and the bucket from the room she was held in. We found a receipt. The annual number of cable ties produced is about 100 billion. A lot of people buy cable ties. Very few of them to bind their wives to radiators. Jansen might have wanted to neaten up his computer and charger cords. He lives in a minimalist house. That's what any lawyer worth their salt will argue. Clements rolls her head from left to right. Her neck clicks like castanets. His fingerprints are on the food packets. Which means he touched those protein bars. That's all they prove. Not that he took them into the room, not that he was ever in the room. Exasperated, Tanner demands, well, how else did they get there? They didn't fly in through the bloody window, did they? Clements understands he's not just excitable.